Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter and I welcome you back to the Mango Grow for your daily analysis video. This is going to be a video on Ethereum USD. It's actually a shout out video to Cole and Joe from the Mango Seed program. They have been showing so much initiative recently, and hey, I do believe both of them are in a Ethereum trade. I'm actually not sure if Joe is still in her Ethereum trade or if she's only in her Bitcoin trade, but either way, big shout out to both of you. Your initiative, your eagerness has not been going unnoticed, and yeah, so hopefully this video will help the two of you. If not, hey, it will help either way. Okay, so here we have Ethereum USD on the daily. By the way, I have already done a Bitcoin USD analysis video for today. It is actually a very important video, so if you guys missed that, please go ahead and watch it. We are closing a month, so what Bitcoin does is highly going to influence what Ethereum does, but that does not mean we can't garner some information from what Ethereum is currently doing over here. So let's see what Ethereum is doing, right? And on first glance, this does look like a obvious bear flag formation, right? We can go ahead and draw it. We have our pole over here and our bear flag like that. Now again, this is drawn very crudely, but the psychology of what's going on is very similar to what we've been talking about. We have our higher lows, granted higher lows over here, and on the top we do have lower highs. So the question is, does this break to the upside or does this break towards the downside? Now, Ethereum is one of the charts where I do like to look at the 12-hour time frame first before I look at the daily and then the weekly. And the reason for that is because it does move a lot faster and a lot more aggressively, right? I was going to say volatile. That's not a word. It does have more volatility than Bitcoin, and the 12-hour does seem to show a better picture or an idea of what may be going on. Now, that doesn't mean I play it off the 12-hour time frame. I may or may not, but I do like to look at the lower time frames when it comes to most altcoins, actually, just to get a better idea. Now, let me go ahead and delete what's going on over here. We were talking about how we were potentially putting in a bear flag, and what we're going to do now is switch on over to the lower time frame, okay, before moving back onto the daily, and see what's going on over here. And there you go, we are getting a clear picture. Right over here we are seeing that these lows are being pressed down upon, right? A squeeze, a descending line, and are we putting in a possible descending triangle over here? Could be, right? And well, this could be again considered a break to the upside if we actually break this trend line. But if we break to the downside, we do have a measured move that we could go ahead and draw. Let's go ahead and pull that up quickly. I will lean towards this break into the downside. My overall picture on the market is bearish, but hey, I could be wrong, right? Which is why I explain my thoughts to you guys, and you guys can play it accordingly. If we do break this to the downside, it is actually pointing down to sub 100 over here. Possibly see a bounce first at around 103, and then do we come and test these lows over here at around $89? That is a possibility if we do break to the downside. Okay, so now the question is, what would initiate this move to the downside over here? Well, essentially, you'd be looking for a candle close, at least on the 12-hour, in my opinion, underneath $122. Okay, you could kind of front run it and look for a candle close underneath 124, but hey, I'd rather be safer than sorry and look for the 122 candle close. It did seem to have a push up right from here too. If you go ahead and mark a horizontal, and this will actually show us something else interesting, I'll talk about that in a sec. But over here, when you did close above this wick over here, above this horizontal line over here, we did have that push up to the upside, right? Came down, found support right over here, and now ever since then the pushes to the upside have been weaker and weaker, right? Giving you that bearish bias if you are so inclined. The bullish bias over here is that, hey, right over here, we got picked up a little bit early. We didn't come and test this horizontal over here at 121, right? So the bulls might be saying, hey, we do have an ascending trend line right over here. Okay, depending on how you draw it, of course. I'm not drawing it too well. Ooh, that's good enough, I guess, right? Now, this, you could say that, hey, this is a stretch, the bulls are stretching this, but hey, it doesn't change much, right? The breakout measured move would be either way, because if you're looking at this, descending trend line, if you do break that descending trend line to the upside, the bulls have their case that, hey, this is a symmetrical triangle, and you would have a measured move to around 160ish. Yep, around 160ish over there, right? But we'll keep this down over here. If you're looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, of course the measured move to the downside slightly reduces to around, hey, it's still sub 100, So this is what I'd be looking at on the 12-hour. Let's go ahead and delete everything over here now. Just take a screenshot if you have to, guys. I'm about to clear the screen. I'm going to go on to the daily and see what's going on over there now. Okay, we have a good idea of what the lower time frames are doing. The daily with the mango ribbon on. By the way, mango ribbon completely free. You should find a link down below in the description, along with videos explaining how to set it up on our channel. All right, so there are 2 videos thus far, with a setup tutorial and an explanation on the difference between a moving average and an exponential moving average. I get that question a lot. Okay, so here we have the mango ribbon on Ethereum daily time frame over here, and you can see that we've been getting rejected against the daily 10 SMA once, twice, 3 times, almost a 4th time now, depending on how this candle closes. The bears are not seeing follow through. Okay, not seeing follow through, but there is something interesting about this picture over here. You can see that Ethereum has not tested its daily 21 EMA yet, right over here at around $143. Bitcoin has tested its daily 21 EMA. Does this suggest that Ethereum is lagging behind a bit, and it does get that test over here? That would line up with me being wrong about my Bitcoin trade, and perhaps Bitcoin does meet its 2-day target of that 21 EMA at around 7,200. All right. Again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch my video on Bitcoin from earlier this morning. So again, this is just speculation. The picture is still bearish. If Ethereum does come up over here and test the daily 21 EMA, it doesn't change anything, right? It'll still be a lower high compared to this wick over here at 154. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the Ichimoku. What's that telling us? 200 moving average right over here, all the way at 175. Tanking coming down aggressively. Kumo twist over here. Cloud is still red. Okay, this is interesting. If we do close above the Tenkin, and the Tenkin does start flattening out, I'd be looking for a first target to around $1.74. That would start changing the picture around to a more bullish positioning. And then, hey, if we can close above the 200 MA as well, perhaps all the way up to the Kijun, that would line up with this Kumo twist over here, right? Price does tend to float up to it when we see something like this. Let's go on and look at the 4-hour. I do think that the 4-hour will give us something. And what do we know? The 4-hour has closed within the cloud. We do have a bearish TK cross within the cloud over here. This kind of indicates a more trendless environment. But this lines up, right, guys? If we do just draw that trend line again, if we do start closing candles above this trend line, I'd be looking for that edge-to-edge move all the way up to, what do you know, $170. I was about to say $1.70 because I'm so used to doing ChainLink analysis videos and I'm doing altcoin analysis videos, but no, we're looking at $170. Hey, perhaps one day ChainLink will be trading at these levels as well. Well, Ethereum fans who were trading Ethereum all the way back in 2014 did not think Ethereum would get all the way over here, but it did, and got much higher, actually. $1,000 at one point. Man, those were crazy times. So now let's go ahead and look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and right over here we can go ahead and mark out some horizontals just to start with. Let's start with a horizontal array right over here first, and ooh, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Ethereum is currently living above a major neckline. What I don't like about this is that we've tried to break above this neckline over the past 2 weeks. You can see that we have this candle over here. We're living above this neckline, a very important neckline to be honest, but got sold into. The most recent week too got sold into, and on top of that, each of these wicks are lower highs, right? You can see that the bears are pressing down on it. They're getting eager to sell quicker and quicker. Okay, they're selling lower and lower. But on that same front, the bulls are doing something very similar over here. They defended this D'Artagnan saber 3 musketeer candle right over here, right? So yeah, there's an argument for both cases, but when you're seeing something like this, guys, are you bullish or bearish? Okay, well, if you're a value buyer and you look at Ethereum as a really good value buy at these prices, perhaps you are bullish long term on Ethereum, but there's nothing bullish about this chart, right? Nothing bullish. If we start closing above this neckline on the weekly time frame and start switching the trend around on the daily time frame, then we can start looking to be bullish. In fact, we can start to look to change the trend on the 12-hour time frame. That would be good enough for me. So let's go ahead and see what are we looking for a trend shift on the 12-hour. Can start with that, right? Well, the major resistance over here is 154. If the bulls manage to take out this high over here, put in a high somewhere around 170, we got a few targets over there, right? If you're breaking this possible symmetrical triangle to the upside, I think it was 165, 170ish. If you put in a high somewhere around there, then come in and confirm a lower high and then perhaps put in a higher high, then we know, hey, we have a trend change. But think about that. There's so much that needs to happen on the 12-hour time frame. Price is going to oscillate, right? You do not need to be FOMOing into price to try and predict a trend change. Now, I do understand Ethereum is one of those assets that when it does change trend, it does just go straight up, right? But guys, patience is better than losing money by trying to front run the market only because you're feeling the urge of missing out on a potential move like this. You don't know when this big surge is going to come. It could come all the way at around $65, $70 where we do something like that, right? You don't know, guys. So always be careful, wait for that confirmation and then take your plays. And even if you are front running, guys, for whatever reason, always have a exit plan in place. Alright, so before we wrap this up, we can go ahead and look at the monthly time frame, and I'm not sure there's enough price action, not on Coinbase at the very least, to look at the monthly. How much do we have over here? Oof, Ethereum. Imagine this. Imagine we have something like this again, right? What is that? 11,000%. Can we even do that? It doesn't fit in the screen, guys. It doesn't fit in the screen. Okay, anyways, enough of that dream hopium stuff. Let's look at what the charts are telling us today, and we don't have enough price action on this to actually pull up any indicators. So I think it would be Poloniex that has, but this is calculated by TradingView. USDT, I do believe. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we can remove all drawing tools. I don't have anything drawn on this. So okay, let's turn on the Mango ribbon, see what we got over here. And ooh, not a good sign at all. Not a good look at the very least. Testing this monthly 21 EMA over here, getting rejected after wicking against the Tenkin, getting it so well. The Mango ribbon, cool. By the way, again, guys, Mango ribbon completely free in case you missed that part. Link down below, etc., etc. Tenkin tested again, rejected, closing underneath the 10 SMA and the 21 EMA right over here. Not a good look again. The major horizontal that the Ethereum does want to hold is, well, 126, and it does seem to be holding it, right? Very similar to what Bitcoin is doing right now. So this monthly close is going to be very important for both of them. And hey, that may start switching a lot of people's biases around, because this wick is going to be considered a bull wick as well. Double bottoming, pretty much putting in a higher low, but I'd be... Is this really a high low? Look at that on a monthly time frame, right? Look how close we came to that. So I know a lot of people are drawing this, or at least Bitcoin chart, as a possible ascending triangle, and yeah, you can, but usually you don't want to come down this close. So if we do close above this monthly horizontal over here at around 126, 127-ish, Ethereum does have a chance of coming and testing the 10 SMA on the monthly, which is probably sitting at $185. Yeah, so that does line up with what we've been looking at for our measured moves on a break of the 12-hour trend, the daily trend, whatever it is, right? Could see a wick up to that 10 SMA, but depends on how this monthly closes. Keep in mind, guys, if this monthly closes like this 10 SMA is likely going to come down a bit lower, probably 170-ish, 175-ish at the very least. So yeah, and what would that mean? That would mean that, hey, we don't have a symmetrical triangle. We would rather be looking at this as a, well, double bottom, right? You have this bottom here and this bottom. I know it's not exact. It doesn't need to be exact, guys. And we have a W like formation that may be put in place, right? Let's go ahead and delete the screen and get back our horizontal right over here. You can use this neckline right over there. You can see that we pretty much came and tested that neckline. Again, this is the monthly time frame. You do not need to be perfect with any of this. I know people get way too caught up in that. What would the measured move be? Well, we can be a little bit more conservative, take the neckline as is, looking at around $486. So does the theme make a recovery like that? this is in the cards, right? If we see something like that, again, just something for the bulls to chew on, something that the bulls can look forward to. Me, on the other hand, guys, I am biased. I'm biased to the downside, and I would be looking for this to break to the downside. Do I think Ethereum is going to crash all the way down to $40, $35 like people are saying? No, I would not be looking for that just yet. I would be looking for it to come back down to around 103 if it does break this, especially if it breaks this trend line, right? Breaks this trend line over here. I'd be looking for it to first step, or first pit stop rather, would be $110. After that would be $103. After that, probably test these lows over here around 87-ish. Okay, so breaking to the upside, however, 200 MA would be it would be a strong move to the upside. Actually, it would be a very strong move to the upside. I do think we're going to play out that 4-hour edge to edge. If Ethereum starts taking out these wicks over here, there's going to be a lot of liquidity. We've talked about this on our Bitcoin videos, right? It's going to be stops over here, stops over here, stops over here. What are those guys going to be doing once their stops are triggered? They're going to be buying back into the market. So you're going to be having buyers coming in as well as shorters whose stops get triggered, buying back into the market. So you're going to have a big surge, and this is how Ethereum does have those volatile moves, right? Because people get very eager to short Ethereum, and then people also get very eager to long Ethereum, and you get the volatility. But hey, the cloud is still red. We haven't had a trigger just yet. Bearish TK cross still. This could spill on over to the downside. Be careful either way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Sean Dexter. Again, a big shout out to you, Joe and Cole, making me proud. Keep the hard work up, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.